Hi guys, this is Norris, and in this video I want to talk about how to look better for guys. And the way I'm going to go about doing this video is that at first I'm going to talk about easy things you can do, things you could almost pull off right then and there if you're about to go out. And then I'll move on to things that require at least a little bit of planning, but might not require that much work or might just be something you do once a month or so. And then again, might talk about things that are require a bit more consistent effort. So let's begin. So again, with the low-hanging fruit. So let's say you go out tonight. What can you do to sort of put yourself in the best light? First, focus on clothing. So with regards to clothing, you want to find nice, tight-fitting clothes, and also ideally you want to go with sort of, I would say, go as classy as you can. So if you have a suit, wear a suit. If you're going to go pick up chicks, wear that. At the same time, however, you want to loosen up some things to give you that more sort of fun vibe and less of the formal kind of vibe. So some little things you could do is unbutton top couple of buttons. You could roll up your sleeves. If you ideally you'll be wearing a shirt that's not too long, and so in that case you should leave it out of your pants or your jeans. And these little things essentially will give you that more fun vibe, while at the same time you'll kind of be dressed really nice. Another thing you can do now, focus on smell. So smell is also really big, can really help with the attraction. So shower before you go out, have a shower. And in addition, if you have nice cologne, then put that cologne on. The way to put it, I'd say put one sort of spray on each side of your neck, back of your neck, and then a couple of sprays, one on each sort of wrist area. So that's with regards to smell. Now, with regards to eyes, I would say ideally don't wear glasses. If you wear glasses, ideally go with contacts. That's an option. That can help. Facial hair, if I would say, at least if you are in your 20s, ideally you should go with some facial hair. You don't want to have a crazy beard, but 5 o'clock shadow or a little bit more would be great and can help you look a bit more mature, which is a bit older, which most girls will find more attractive. I would say these are the main things you could do that don't require a crazy amount of effort. You could do right then and there to really help you. One more thing I would say is adding some product to your hair. So if you have gel, put some gel. Make sure you have some gel at least all over your hair, but not crazy amounts. And chances are you probably want to get, if you have lots of hair in your face, you're probably gonna want to get most of it out of your face in case you have really long hair. But that would be it mainly with regards to quick things you can do. So I'll just recap real quick. Wear nice tight fitting clothes. If you have a suit or something really classy, go with that. But at the same time, loosen things up, like unbutton the first top couple of buttons, roll up your sleeves, take your shirt out, and then take a shower, put nice cologne on, wear contacts instead of glasses, and keep at least a 5 o'clock shadow if you can. And that's basically it in regards to quick and easy things. Now, with that out of the way, things that require at least probably require you at least a bit more planning would be the following, but can make a big difference. Biggest one probably be hair. Hairstyle can make a huge difference because of how good you look. Myself, nowadays my current hairstyle, I get compliments quite regularly for it. But before, let's say a year ago or so, I didn't really get many compliments for my hair, even though obviously genetically I haven't changed, just that the hairstyle has actually changed. The main difference is that I changed hairstylists. So it's really worth investing your time finding a good hairstylist. Now, how do you find a good hairstylist? A couple of ways. One you could just go on Yelp and look up, hairstylists that have really good reviews. Another option, which I'll touch on in a bit, is there are certain services that allow you to they'll basically go shopping for you, for shopping for good clothes for you, and then these guys often also will have hairstylists that they're associated with that do a really good job of giving you a really nice haircut. That's a big one. So find a good hairstylist, and then you probably have to get your hair done every 6 weeks or so. Next things with regards to facial hair, certain cleanup you could do. This will vary depending on the person. Some people will have more facial hair issues than others. I know with myself at least, and some of you guys out there, have a unibrow. So if you have a unibrow, want to get rid of that, you could try just getting rid of it yourself. If you get like one of those, I don't even know what they're called, tweezers. And another option would be, if you want to kick it up a notch, you go to an actual salon where a lot of women typically go and get like waxed, and you have them get rid of the unibrow on the one hand and can clean up sort of your eyebrow area and give you a really nice shape. Like frankly, I've actually gotten compliments on my eyebrows, even if I leave them to their own devices. They would be like a key sort of negative turn off. So that's something worth investing, especially if you have thick eyebrows that are like a unibrow. You could probably really benefit from this. If you have like random facial hair in areas that are not that appealing, like your ears or your nose, you want to trim that. Put a link for a particular trimmer that actually I use, at least for nose hair, at least before going out. So you might want to get one of those trimmers or use whatever trimmers you have and clean that up, because that could be a turn off for women. Another one is making sure you actually have a good cologne. The one that I use, which I've gotten compliments for, is a Diesel. So you could try that. And it's not crazy expensive, and I've gotten pretty positive reviews for it. However, you could also try and get a specific, just go to a store, department store, and just ask whoever's selling cologne for recommendations. And I would say ideally get them to smell how it smells on you, frankly, and just see, because often you'll get different results depending on how it sort of mixes with your own body odor. So that would be another thing. And then lastly, actually two more things to add. One would be with regards to clothing. So actually get really nice. I do want to get really nice clothes that put you in best light, good colors that work for you, that bring in attention to you, and show you in the best light. Easiest way to do this, I would say, is have an expert take care of this. The cheap way to do that, it would be just to go to some department store, say like Nordstrom, and then you find people in the clothing section, and you just ask them like, hey, I'd like to find a nice shirt, a nice pair of jeans that would look really good on me if I'm going on a date or I'm going to bars or clubs. You can be pretty direct, and women would be more than happy to help you. After all, they want to sell them a product, so their chances are they're really good at what they're doing, and they know what works, what doesn't. Usually they're women, so you can get a woman's perspective on what works for you and what doesn't. So that's, I would say, a really good way to go about it. Another way, if you want to also go, clothes shopping, you could look for services that specialize in personal shopping to get you and sort of give you a really specific good look. I've actually used such services, generally pretty happy with the results. Put a link for those, or at least one of them, though I think they might be more specific to my area, to Seattle. You might want to Google or look up other styling services that might be in your area. However, these, of course, when you use these services, then you have to pay an extra amount of money for the person who's actually going about shopping for you. Overall, I think it's worth it because they'll save you a ton of time. They'll give you tons of, like, a whole new wardrobe, and without you putting in much effort yourself. And at least some of them will actually, they'll generally try and stay within a budget that you provide, and they can find good pieces that are sold in certain places where they're not super expensive, but they still look good. So that's pretty much that. There's only one last trick that I'll add that also requires a little bit of planning or looking into, is if particularly if you're short or even just like average height, I think it does help to have an extra 2-3 inches of height. Typically, girls are attracted to taller guys. Now, this little trick, some people might find this a little too shady, and that you're bound to get caught and whatnot. One way to look at it is girls are doing this all the time, be it with their push-up bras or with their heels. Anyways, so what you can do if you want to be a couple of inches taller is you can get elevator shoes that basically typically have hidden heels. You can't really notice it from outside. Or you can get lifts that you can add to your shoes. I actually use such things, and I'll put a link below to this company that sells generally good-looking elevator shoes. And with regards to won't the girl find out eventually? From what I've seen, generally speaking, you'll be fine as long as you're actually taller than the girl. As long as you're actually taller than the girl with both of you, bare feet, you're probably fine. But the trick is you probably have to keep on wearing these heels until you've slept with the girl. If you haven't slept with her, then she might not be sold on you yet. So you want to get every advantage that you can in the meantime. And that would be it, I would say. Now, last thing that I'll mention, which requires more consistent effort, but can definitely make a difference. Frankly, I don't really do that much of it myself, but going to the gym. Noticeable if you're fat, that's going to be huge. You want to lose weight. If you are at least not fat, then you might want to go to the gym to build some muscle. That can also really help. I mean, at least I have a couple of friends who, frankly, are not like the best conversationalists, or or like one of them's a little bit on the short side, but they managed to get fairly hot chicks to be their girlfriends, who were frankly the main attraction initially was a key of this attraction initially was the fact that they were pretty well built. To do that, though, you're going to have to be willing to typically invest spending several days a week in the gym. Some guys might enjoy this, doing this anyway, so keep it up. Other guys might hate it, but in which case, at least I would say you should take up some sort of physical activity to at least make sure you're not fat, because that's going to be huge, make huge difference attraction-wise. Anyway, so that is that. So I mentioned a lot of little tricks and tips that you could do to look better when meeting women, and mainly most of the things actually don't really require that much work. Most of them are things you could do right then and there, and then a few of them just require you to kind of find a particular service, particular product, and once you buy it or find it, then you just have to do something once every few weeks. And then lastly, there's the working out. If you want to really get up a notch and willing to put in the time. So hopefully you guys found this useful, and if you did, I'd much appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my videos. Until next time, enjoy.